This is NBC News for Universal Kids. I'm Savannah Sellers, and here's your Week in Review. Women's History Month. Every March, Americans honor the courage, leadership, and accomplishments of women who built our country and who promoted equal rights for women. Why is that important? Well, imagine if at your school, only boys could go out for recess or take science classes. When our country started, women didn't have the same rights and opportunities as men. They didn't have the same chance to study at school or to work at jobs they wanted to do. And they couldn't vote in elections or run for offices like mayor or president. But women organized marches to demand equal opportunities and full rights as citizens. And step by step, laws were changed. Now, women can study any subject at school, be doctors and lawyers and astronauts, and even run for President of the United States. This month, people will celebrate women, like Harriet Tubman, who helped slaves find freedom, Susan B. Anthony, an early leader for women's rights, Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman on the Supreme Court, and Sally Ride, the first American woman in space. Thanks to many women who struggled in the past, today's women and girls have more opportunities to do great things. Big changes for the Boy Scouts. After more than 100 years as a group just for boys, the Boy Scouts of America are now inviting girls to join.
I have been waiting for this for almost 4 years.
The new recruits will be called Scouts instead of Boy Scouts. Girls started joining Cub Scouts, the group for 5 to 10-year-old kids, last year. Now they can continue with Scouts up until they turn 17. Troop leaders hope that by including girls, more kids will want to become Scouts.
I think it's amazing and it's going to make history.
Boys and girls will get all the same chances to do everything, from camping trips and projects in the community to earning colorful merit badges. And for the first time, girls will have the chance to go for the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest honor that a Scout can get.
They want to be here, so obviously they're here to make a stand.
But what about the Girl Scouts? They'll stay an all-girl organization separate from the Scouts, but with many of the same activities to do. These new members are eager for adventure and the chance to blaze new trails.
I'm looking forward to going white water rafting.
We'll be watching to see what new adventures the Scouts take. And now, have you seen this? Busting a move right next to a plane. This aircraft guide was helping a plane get to the runway when he saw a baby crying on board the plane. So he starts to dance to try to cheer her up. Luckily, the pilots were not confused by his sweet feet. Figure skating in Harlem. It's an after-school program that teaches girls ages 6 to 18 the skills they need to skate and study, and succeed. The girls strive to get an A, but they need at least a B- average to get on the ice. Each week, they meet with tutors in small groups for several hours to study math and science. The classes support what they're learning in school.
Figure skating in Harlem really motivates me to do well in school.
After studying, they learn skating skills and routines, and eventually perform in front of big crowds.
It's been my happy place. In my head during school, I'm just like, yeah, I understand this. I want to get to skating now.
All of the program's graduating seniors go on to college.
I didn't realize that the skills that I was developing as a skater were going to help me throughout the rest of my life. I'm definitely living my dream.
Flo, now a successful photographer, was an inspiration to others when she was in the program.
I saw Flo when she was my age skating, and I was inspired. She would see me falling, and one day I remember I was crying, and she came over to me and she was like, "It's okay, you'll get here."
Here in Harlem, accomplishments on the ice lead to accomplishments in school. Happy Pie Day! But we aren't really celebrating apple or pumpkin, P-I-E. Today is all about P-I. Pi is a letter in the Greek alphabet that looks like this. It's used in math for measuring circles, and you learn more about it in middle school. If you take a circle and divide the distance around it by the length across it, you always end up with the same number, 3.1415. Part of what makes pi special is that the digits in it keep going on forever, and pi the letter represents that number.
Pi deserves a day. It's what we would call a fundamental constant. Pi is always there.
The highest number of digits mathematicians have found is 1 trillion. It's kind of a mathematical puzzle that will never be solved. When solving a math problem with pi, you mostly just use the first three numbers, 3.14. That's why Pi Day is in March, the third month of the year, and on the 14th day. The date looks like the first three numbers, or digits, of pi. Some schools celebrate Pi Day with pies, pizza, and contests to see just how many digits of pi kids can say from memory. How can you celebrate? Try to see how many digits of pi you can remember. Have fun counting. And now, have you seen this? Happy birthday, Thunderbirds! For 65 years, the daring Air Force Squadron has inspired thousands with their tricks and stunts hundreds of feet in the air. Check out their awesome moves. Two presidents of Venezuela. So who are they? Nicolas Maduro and Juan Guaido both say they are president of Venezuela, a country in South America. Maduro has been Venezuela's president since 2013. Guaido is the leader of the National Assembly. They make Venezuela's laws. So why do they both think they're president? Venezuela held an election for president last year, and Maduro says he won the vote. But Guaido and others say the election was unfair. They think Maduro cheated and stole the election. Under Maduro's leadership, Venezuelan people have had a hard time getting basic medicine, running water, and food. A bag of pasta costs the same as a full week's salary.
The prices, how much is crazy.
Guaido says that according to their constitution, as leader of the National Assembly, he should be president until Venezuela has a fair election. People of Venezuela and governments of the world are split. Some people support Maduro and some people support Guaido. There have also been protests against both men. Right now, Maduro still controls Venezuela's military, which means he has most of the power. But Guaido is not backing down. So watch to see how Venezuela finds a solution. And now, have you seen this? 7 cheetah cubs were recently born at the Metro Richmond Zoo in Virginia. And they're not only adorable, they're rare too. Cheetahs give birth to 7 cubs at once, only 1% of the time. Welcome to the world, little cubs. That's your look at this week's NBC News for Universal Kids. Now, go join the conversation.
Hey NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.